Are you a morning person, or do you prefer to have a late one? Different people will say different preferences. But today I'm going to talk about an early morning routine and how that can be beneficial for you. And I'll also be talking about a great book by Hal Elrod that I've incorporated into my routine and the benefits of doing that. So welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Johnny. I'm a self-published author and a personal development writer and YouTuber who aim to help people live more purposeful and happier lives. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to talk about my story and my differences in routine over the years, and by experimenting what I found was best for me. So when I was younger at school, it would be a typical case of school or sixth form, be a typical case of getting up 7 a.m. or maybe a bit earlier, going to school, all I'd do in the morning is have a shower, have some breakfast. I'd go through school, go through my lessons. In the evening, I might have a sporting activity, or I might just go home and chill. That was it. That's just an endless cycle. And then on the weekends, I might do a bit more sociable stuff, typically football. As you probably know from me already, I'm a big football fan. But then I got into university, and actually my routine was more like getting up at 11 a.m. at the earliest, unless I had a lecture, because I'd be out partying the night before, let's be honest about it. And that day would look like get up, probably not feeling the freshest ever, get up, go to the gym. Yeah, I managed to go to the gym after the night before, so that was quite impressive, I found anyway. And then I do a bit of uni work, and then I'd probably be going out again, or if not, just going to bed early because I was so knackered from the night before. Now, that was kind of an endless cycle as well, and really, any personal goals I had wouldn't be achieved. And actually, in those days, I wasn't so focused on my writing, my coaching as I am now, that I focused on in the last couple of years. But if I had my own personal goals, real specific ones back then, I wouldn't really have been achieving them by getting up at 11. So when I started work, I had to go back to getting up at 7 a.m. Now I get up at 5:30 a.m, which I'll talk about in a bit now, but 7 a.m. then was a bit of a shock from getting up at 11 back to 7 a.m, getting back into work and then working a day-to-day job. So I get up at 7, I'd have a shower, a bite to eat, I'd go to work, and I'd do some sport in the evening, and then I'd come home, go to bed. It's a bit of an endless cycle really, but I didn't really feel like I started my day right until recent years. I didn't start to notice that. And then when I got into my mid-20s, I really started to get into my writing. Now, when I incorporated writing into my routine, I would put it in at lunchtime, so I'd do a bit each day. And I did manage to publish my first children's book in that routine, but it took me perhaps longer than it would have done if I allocated more time in the morning and at the weekends, as well as lunchtime, to writing them. And in the last couple of years, I've been experimenting when can I get into more writing into my routine. Obviously, I've got other areas, but we'll just stick to writing for the sake of this video as an example. And I try to allocate some time in the evening, so I'll get home, and even though I'm knackered, I knew from watching lots of motivational videos, lots of YouTube videos, that it doesn't matter how you feel. Sometimes you just got to get on with things, even if you are tired, which is true, but you've also got to get that right balance of what's best for your day and relaxation as well. So I put stuff in the evening and then I try and work on the writing. But I found I wasn't that focused and the quality of my writing wasn't as good as it could have been earlier in the day. So I started experimenting a little bit and started to do it earlier in the day. So before work, I'd get to work, I'd sit down and I'd do a bit of writing, and I carry on with my day job. And I found that really, really beneficial. And then squeezing a little bit at lunchtime as well was really beneficial too. By incorporating things earlier in my day and really having a clear routine each week, and actually starting work earlier on a weekend, so I'm filming this video really early today as well, I found so much more benefit and getting much more of a positive day by starting my day right. So now I'm going to talk about the few benefits of getting up early. When I say a few, I'm just going to talk about a few today. There's lots of benefits. Benefit number one, is that by doing things in the morning, you're able to focus more and you're less mentally drained than you would be if you go through the day. So I talked about this a little bit. You go to your day job and hopefully you enjoy it. You go through your day job, but actually you're using a lot of resource from your brain and it's going to tire you out. By the time you get to the evening, you're going to be knackered. You're not going to be as able to cope as you would be earlier in the day. You still have to do things in the evening, but make sure they're less mentally draining. So for example, I will do my writing, my life coaching qualifications earlier in the day, but practicing speaking in front of a camera, I can do that later in the day because it doesn't require so much focus and writing things down. It just requires me to talk to a camera. So make sure the most important things, the most mentally draining things you do earlier in the day, because you'll be less knackered then, and that's when your highest focus will be. Benefit number 2, by focusing on bigger goals earlier in the day, you're going to have less distractions. So as we go through the day, there's all sorts of distractions coming at us. There's social media, that's the key one. People talking to you, people texting you, people calling you, emails, everything coming at you. And it's going to take your attention more and more away from achieving the goals. So by putting time in the morning and focusing on what you want to do, you're going to have less distractions and therefore more focus again. And another tip within this is make sure you keep your phones on airplane mode in the morning or perhaps overnight, unless you're expecting an emergency call, of course, just so you don't get distracted in the morning either. Benefit number 3, by starting early in the morning, you can't put things off. So we procrastinate an awful lot as human beings, and I do it myself. It's still a challenge I'm trying to master. But by putting things in the morning, allocating time, you've got to do it then before your day starts. And as the day starts, you're going to find more and more things to take you away. Because sometimes when you're working your goals, it's going to be hard work. But by doing that hard work earlier in the day, you're less likely to try and distract yourself from doing it. So that's another benefit. And benefit number 4, by starting your day right, you're going to carry a good momentum throughout the day. So when I write in the morning and I get a good chunk of writing done, whether that's 500 words, 1,000 words, I feel great for the rest of the day. And I go into my day job feeling good and I'm able to carry on a momentum and deliver tasks. So by starting your day right, starting things early, you're able to get that good feeling of achieving something and carry it throughout the day. How you start the day with a good routine, tackling multiple areas, multiple needs for us as humans, and how that can set you up for a really good day. Now, there's 6 areas in it. I'm going to go through each one, but the routine can last from 6 minutes to 60 minutes, or even longer if you want it. But obviously, you probably don't want more than an hour because you want to then start looking at your own goals. Now, there's 6 areas, as mentioned. You could do a minute for each area, which would mean the 6-minute routine. You could do 5 minutes for each area, so you might get around a 40-minute routine, 40-minute routine. Or you could do 10 minutes for each area, where you get the full hour. Or you can mix and match. You could do some areas you might want to work on 15-20 minutes, other areas you might want to work on for only a few minutes. So really, it depends what you want out of it, but I'll go through each of the areas individually, but it's a routine that has certainly benefited me. So the acronym is SAVERS, and I'll be going through all the letters, but if we begin with the S. The S is for silence, so this could mean meditation, it could mean gratitude, or it could mean prayer, and there's a couple of other areas it can mean. For me, I do meditation and a little bit of gratitude, because the meditation allows me to feel more present and connected to myself, and the gratitude again allows that connection to myself and getting an increased sense of happiness of appreciating what I've got. So for the meditation I do in the morning, it tends to be breathing in and out. So I'll breathe in and then breathe out. Count of 4 in and a count of 8 out. I don't know why I had to demonstrate that, just thought I would anyway. Obviously you probably know how to breathe. But by doing that, it allows me to feel connected to myself. The A is for affirmation. Now these are quotes you can say to yourself to really get your mindset positive. So it could be saying something like, I am great, I will accomplish a lot today. Just quotes you can find, and if you're stuck for any, just Google them online, just type in positive affirmations. There's a really good app I use called ThinkUp, where it's got a lot of suggestions of positive affirmations that you can use as well. So I'd highly recommend that app. But what I'll do for me, for 5 minutes, I'll listen to these affirmations, which are me recording myself speaking, and I'll play them back so I've got that positive mindset for the day. The V is for visualization. Visualization is visualizing really where you want to be. So I talk a lot about goals and dreams, but when you've got a dream, it's really visualizing yourself living that dream. So if you want to be an author, for example, visualizing yourself writing down books, sitting down, writing down, which is quite easy if you write already. But if you want to be like a top 100 seller on Amazon, picturing yourself, seeing your book on Amazon, seeing people's positive comments, seeing the positive impact it has on people and the feedback you're getting, really visualizing that. Or if you want to be a sportsman, visualizing yourself at the top level. How would it feel? How would people be responding to you? How great would it be to be there? So that's what visualization is. The E is for exercise. So there's different forms of exercise you can do in the morning. You could be going for a run, and I'm part of the Miracle Morning group, and I see lots of people actually do go out and do a 5k, which is fair play to them, especially in this hot weather that we're in at the moment. Obviously they're probably in different countries, but if you did 5k in this hot weather, you'd be boiling. Anyway, so you could go out for a run, but it doesn't have to be intense exercise. It could be something like yoga, or it could be doing a few squat jumps or star jumps, or a plank or something, any form of exercise. For me, it's stretching, just a simple stretching. Because I'll have exercise later in the day, I like to stretch off myself from having God knows how many, 7-8 hours sleep the night before. So I want to stretch and loosen myself off for the day. But the E is for exercise. The R is for reading. So like it sounds basically, this is just sitting down and reading a book. So a personal development book, a fiction book, anything you like to read, just to get your mind focused and enjoy picking up some new information. For me, what I do is I've noticed some key notes from some of my favourite personal development books, and what I'll do is just quickly review those notes over the course of 5 minutes. And I find that's really useful to review those key points that I've learned from those personal development books. And finally, the S is for scribing, or as I like to think of it, journaling. So this is really getting thoughts down onto paper, or just any form of writing it could be. For me, I'd like to establish what my goals are for the day. I tend to try and do that the night before, but really kind of being more precise on what I want to achieve out of the day. I also then start to look at what my challenges are in my mind, because like any human, I have lots of challenges and worries. So I like to get them down onto paper and actually convert them into how I can make them more positive. So by journaling, I find that's really useful to do that. There you are once again. If you want more information on that routine, I suggest you go there. It's really about how you can get your day right and how you can get yourself focused. For me, I've been a lot more focused from doing it. I did it this morning, and I do it most weekdays. I try and do it most weekends as well. It's about getting up early and starting your day right. So, in conclusion today, we've talked about the benefits of getting up early, in that you're able to carry a positive momentum throughout the day. You're able to focus more on goals before the distractions of the day, and you're able to be clearer in the morning with a bunch of areas that can benefit you, which are silence, meditation, or gratitude, prayer, Affirmations, getting that positive mindset. Visualization, visualizing your end goals. Exercise, being able to start the day with some physical activity. Reading, so getting some new ideas into your head. And scribing, or journaling as I say, getting down thoughts on paper. So hopefully that's given you some thought and consideration for the future. If after watching this video today you're thinking, I'd really like to get up earlier to benefit my day more, my question today is, how much earlier could you get up? Again, you might not want to get up too early because you might be too knackered, but how much earlier could you get up, and what would you spend your morning doing if you had more time before the rest of the day? So just a couple of questions for you there. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. As usual, just a quick reference of my sources. So for more blogs or short stories or more information on me in general, go onto my website, which is johnnypardo.com. You can also find me on social media, on Facebook or Instagram, just type in @JohnnyPardoAuthor. Or for my books, go onto Amazon and type in Johnny Pardo. Until next time, see you later.